Refine Eve is kind of like Christmas Eve. We're all sitting there hoping that our favorite unit that we put so much in can be relevant once again. We're going to discuss Leaf today because this is one of my favorites. And your question should be, why should you refine this unit? And first off, Melee Special Spiral 4 is kind of a rarity, and it's neat to have this in a mythic. Mythic speed boost. We've talked about speed and how important it is in the meta, and this unit gives it to its allies that are properly blessed. This unit destroys speed-based Omni tanks, and we'll get into that and why, and it's really neat. And last, of course, he's your favorite. Let's just jump right in though. Let's see here. This is a max invested Mythic Leaf. Attack speed Hexblade is really nice because you get to hit res on some of these crazy tanks. Deadly Balance Plus, obviously. Attack speed Oath 4 because extra attack speed. Blade Session. Open the Future is really good, and you get an effective speed of 80, which if you remember way back to our Omni tank scale, that is a range that you like. That is very good. We love that. So if you want to go all in on Mythic Leaf, here he is. I've got this massive wall of text that is his Refine because, you know, we have to scroll for everything now. We'll go over the simplified version in just a second here, but understand this unit is Summoner Duels S worthy. This unit, we'll see in just a second, can kill a lot of things and does it well. This unit is definitely an Aether Raids unit, that's no doubt there. Arena, he is on the border. 754, you'd really like 756 or something higher, but hey, it's what we got. So, let's move into the cheat sheet because this is so much easier to read. Now, there are certain conditions to these. I really do these more as a Cliff Notes version because I like to see everything in one little place. You've got his preference weapon, which has slaying, which is very nice, and Omni plus 10. Guaranteed follow-up, which I really wish they would have doubled down on speed and done away with the guaranteed follow-up, but we get what we get. And then we get the turn 1 Quicken Pulse, but twice, which is fantastic. So this unit is going to have Quicken Pulse ready immediately. You get 7 HP healing, and you get 30% off of the first attack on you. So damage reduction is fantastic. We've seen it before. This unit is set to go in, survive, possibly have some unit swoop in and dance them or something similar. The thing that I don't have mentioned here, and I'm not a huge fan of, is the parasitic damage on allies. So nearest allies, and that's nearest, like anywhere on the map, get minus 20 HP. I have seen folks over the years try to use this like some sort of vantage thing, or it's not great. I don't love it. I kind of wish they would have just gotten rid of it, but here we are. They feel like this is a core part of what Leaf is, and so what do we do? As far as Deadly Balance Plus, we get the attack speed defense minus 5, so that's a total effective speed of plus 15, actually attack speed and defense of plus 15, which is really nice. You get guard, you get special spiral 4, and that is the full version. I moved over, there's an additional plus 5 true damage in his preference weapon that I just kind of clumped into special spiral, and then you get acceleration per foe's attack, which means most likely you're going to be proccing Open the Future every chance you get, unless that unit is Lucia, and we'll get to her in a bit. But this is kind of the wrap-up of what this unit is. We get a lot of stats, we get a lot of effects. This is special spamming at its best. I want to go over melee matchups, and this is interesting. So first up, let's just jump right in because I could talk about this and sometimes I just talk too much about it. Lucia is up first, and this is important. He absolutely does not take out Lucia. And the problem is that he can't get a special proc. If you can't get a special proc, you can't get special spiral. Next up, we have Edelgard, and this is close. Now, keep in mind, these are 1v1 matchups. This isn't looking at things like bonuses. But with a dance, this unit really just absolutely obliterates Edelgard, which is very nice. given the right buffs, this unit could go further and be able to do even more damage. But, you know, again, I should mention that I have no follow-up on this Leaf, as well as no follow-up on all of the units down below through Dogger. All right, you know how this is gonna go. Dimitri, it just, yeah, not even close. Actually, if he outsped Dimitri, he might have been able to survive that. But yeah, the way this went, not so much. This was interesting to me. Now, Rhea is so dependent on damage reduction, and you get to come in here and just... So, Sacred Cowl goes off, or a Scowl rather goes off, and stops the special. If she had Times Pulse plus Iceberg, that might have been a different matchup, and that would have been interesting to see. But as is, yeah, Rhea goes down hard. Next up, we have Robin. And let me just get this out of the way. It is tough sledding versus near saves in general. Pavis really does a number on this unit, and Leaf is not designed to bust through that. Next up, we have Aleer, which, as you know, is one of the premier units here for this, and is very, very good. And bam, one shot. Now, that's going to be different if she has supports, and we know that, but I just wanted to go over some 1v1 matchups. It's very interesting. The big takeaway here is if Leaf gets to do damage with his special, so if Lucia isn't stopping it, or if Rhea almost stopped it, but if Pavis doesn't mute it, then Leaf is going to absolutely wreck things. Has good damage output, is a very, very good melee threat. Can even be a primary melee threat versus everyone not named Dimitri. So it's good to see, though. All right, we're going to go over some real world examples and see how this unit really contributes, like, out in the wild. So the problem with this setup is we've got Asker here who's trying to get everyone cool down, and we've also got Katria who does Katria things. The choice here is to actually elimine Asker so that we don't have special spamming going on everywhere, and hope for the best. We're blocking Shez because Shez is amazing. We go off, and now we're going to see if we can figure out how this team is going to do versus that. There we go. Okay, so Open the Future comes in, and see, the unit survives pretty well and does a nice dent, but we don't really see like, you'd probably want some sort of smoke there to really help the team. As is, we're not really getting a whole lot done with them. But we talked about that. Like, save balls are just going to be tough for this unit, be it an Edelgard or a Robin. There is a possibility where if you had follow-up units, the unit could come and contribute, but I'm not overly impressed with this. And the problem is, save balls are the #1 team in Aster right now. So we didn't lose here. Like, that's good. And there's a lot of complicated things going on that you would have to figure out. But still, this is not a fantastic position to be in. So, save balls, again, this unit just doesn't really stack up against them. The other problem is you're really going to want res from Mira and Arvel so that you can get your Katria to be unelemined. All right, same thing where we stop Shez, and we're going to hit go and just see how exactly this works. So coming in, same mechanic, and Leaf comes in really quick. And we've just seen this matchup. This is the same matchup, but now we have to deal with some extra buffs. Open the Future comes in and down to 1. To me, that's a victory. Like, to me, you have just won that because the follow-up is going to be nasty, and Crom's going to come in and absolutely smack this unit. Yeah. And Fomortis is just showing off now. Guidance 4 is ridiculous, and if you're building a defense, should probably be on top of your list to to get things done. Man, I cannot believe he jumped that far. That is ridiculous. Okay, for the last one here, I had to do some rearranging because Crom kept stealing my thunder here. So we're going to set him off to the side and make this easily eliminable so we get really focused on Leaf and how he does. We're going to move right up here. And again, we're going to freeze Shez. All right, so everyone's frozen there. Peony comes in and does her thing. Open the Future absolutely demolishes Alear. Everything Alear has is percent-based damage reduction, and that's why this is so key. And I mean, I guess probably the way you would want to do this is elimine the Leaf column first, and then move over and elimine the Catria column. But you're getting a good view on how hard this unit hits, and yeah, it's pretty spectacular. So let's move into some builds. All right, so if you've just got a budget Leaf hanging around and you want to get him to do something, Sturdy Impact is a phenomenal skill. And on a defense, you're probably going to want something like Distant Guard 3. Everything else, I mean, Attack Res Ideal, everything else is pretty just stock. This unit will do just fine this way. You do want the attack boon. You want to get as much attack out of this unit as possible, but it's not, yeah, this unit will perform very well out of the box. If you're looking at summoner duels, I'm thinking more of the conga line that has become so popular because the maps keep leaning towards that and allowing you to use calves more and more. This is the faux cav here with the Tempest going off on every turn. But you can see this unit has quite a bit of speed and will be able to do some serious damage against all but the absolute speediest of opponents. And you've seen a lot of the very speedy opponents, a lot of times they sacrifice their defense. And so a unit like this comes in with damage reduction, which is the way they stay alive, or damage piercing, and they stay alive through damage reduction. This unit just absolutely smacks them. And of course we have the max investment that we already showed here. Attack speed Hexblade is fantastic for this unit. I know it's only on one Yuri, but I mean, if you're a true Leaf fan, this is your bag here. Attack speed Oath because it gives that extra debuff, and Blade Session 3 because you just want to watch the world burn. So, summoners, this is kind of what you're looking at. There's not a whole lot of creativity here. Like, this unit goes in and does damage. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at the tier list and see where this unit stacks up. Now, if you remember, this unit was absolutely like the dregs tier 3. I think this unit is now as usable as Thrasher. I know I may get some flack for that. Thrasher does give exposure, and I do have Thrasher ahead of him because ranged is just easier to work around in the current meta. But this unit gives out speed, which is fantastic, and this unit hits really hard. The problem that we talked about is this unit will not solve your Omni Tank problem. Or actually will solve your Omni Tank, will not solve your save ball problem. If you're expecting this unit to do that, he's just not going to get there. So keep that in mind. But summoners, I mean, this unit does his job. He does it really well. I would have liked to have seen a couple of things. One, the Nana effect, where you stop specials from happening. I guess the Nana or Carla effect. I think that would have really pushed him over the top and into tier 0. The other thing that I would have loved to see is On Guard. I think that would have been something really creative, and I think I would have pushed this unit into the top of the meta as well. As is, you've got a usable unit at tier 1 who gives out speed, which is excellent. And summoners, I love Leaf, so this is really exciting for me. Yeah, I hope everyone is doing well. I thank you so much to the members. We opened up memberships a week ago, and we already have 9, and I appreciate you guys so much. You help us do a lot of new and great things, and yeah, basically help me put more resources into the channel. So thank you for all your support. I appreciate it. Take care, and schedule an appointment with your FEHologist real soon.